Hey babes, it's Doll here and I'm back with another video, period. And today we're gonna talk about my crazy trip to New Orleans, baby, when I was in college. And they just crazy, y'all. They just crazy. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into it. This is the time that I went to New Orleans. I went with Susie and I'm gonna just start the story out. So this is just a random day in college, and like I told you guys previously, I had this big friend group where it was like, I'm gonna say about 4 guys and it was about 3 girls. I'm not gonna really get them well, I could get them names. Let me think about the names I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna stick with the Rugrats theme and I'm gonna call them Chucky, Deal, and Phil. Okay, so those 3 guys, and then we also had, and the other one's kind of irrelevant. He irrelevant. For the girls, I don't know if I already called somebody Angelica. Okay, now I remember what I named her. B. B in the last story times. Okay, so we got B, we got Susie, which y'all already know. This all happened before I cut Susie off, before she had left me stranded with those dudes. So we got B, we got Susie, and then we got this other girl. She really don't need a name, honestly. But the other 2 girls, Lil, and then the other one I'm gonna call Angelica. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. Now that I named everybody, let's get into it. So this is a random day, and we were in the boys' room. Chucky, Phil, Bill, we was up in that room, and like I said, there was a ritual. We used to always go there like every single day. It was tradition at this point. Every day after school, after class, we would go to their apartment and we would just sit there. Like I said, we would all have like big family dinners, watch movies, get lit, spark up, drink a little bit, play games, play spades, Uno, y'all already know. So this day was no different from any other day. We had got out of class and it was a Friday, so right before the weekend. So we're like, okay, bet. So we walk in and I remember what I had on. I had my hair, first of all, in a high curly puff, because that was one of my signature things, two ponytails, curly puff. And so my edges slay, edges on fleek, thank you. And I had on a blue sweater, some leggings, and some Vans. I don't know if y'all remember the Vans, but yes, baby, I had me on some black and white Vans. And and I remember I was literally like laying on that floor, like getting the light in the sun, making some cute Snapchats, using the little Snapchat filters with the dog, licking the tongue out, and the flower crown. And the flower crown was my fave. And so yeah, I'm just sitting up there taking pictures and stuff. And then all of a sudden, we just like scrolling through Snapchat and looking at everybody's story and stuff. And my friend was like, or Susie was like, we should go to New Orleans. Like, it's Mardi Gras. Like, did you know it was Mardi Gras? And I was like, yeah. I was like, girl, no, I didn't know it was Mardi Gras. But yes, we definitely should go. Like, what do you mean? Let's go. And so she was like, okay, for real. I'm for real. And I'm like, baby, I'm for real. She was like, oh, okay, you down? I'm like, yes, I'm down. Like, I'm ready. And at the time, like, yes, I had just got paid. And then I was dealing with this little dude, and I was like, you know what, let me call him and ask him, like, for some money. And he actually sent me some money. I was like, oh, yes, thank you. Thank you so much. So I was so happy about this. So I'm like, girl, yes, I'm ready. So then we rushed back to the dorm room and we start packing everything up. So we packing. And then it was like, okay, let's go ahead and get to it. So then B ended up coming with us, and then one of the guys ended up coming with us, and I'm gonna call him I'll call him Chucky. Okay, so Chucky came with us. So we got B, Chucky, Susie, and me. We all riding down to New Orleans, and we finna get lit. And on the way there, we on the phone with Deal and Phil, and we on the phone with them. They like, yeah, we on the way too. So we like, okay, bet. So we all over here in Mardi Gras. We finna have a ball. The big old family is in Mardi Gras. Now, mind you, B wasn't really a part of this group. Like I said, I used to mix friends, which I don't know why I did, but B was not a part of this group. But I did sometimes invite her over and stuff like that. And like I said, she didn't partake in some of those things. So I didn't always invite her over, but she knew them as well. But she wasn't just as close with them as me and Susie was. So we all go. And Phil and Deal was in a whole nother car. So they was riding down there too. Mind you, Susie has a 4-seater. Okay, so it's full. It's me, B, Susie, and Chucky. So it's full, baby. It's full. Ain't no more room for nobody else. Okay, so we get there and we go right on Bourbon Street, baby. That's the first thing we did. That's the first stop. We didn't think about nothing else. No hotel, no nothing, no food, no nothing. First stop, Bourbon Street. So we get on Bourbon Street, and then I remember Chucky, he ended up getting a drink. I don't know if he had somebody buy it for him or if he bought it for himself, but he ended up getting a fishbowl. And baby, if you know, you know. You know. So he was sipping on that, drinking on that. All of a sudden, we see him moving side to side, swaying, happy, smiling, giggling, laughing, which he always be smiling and stuff, but you know when somebody be on their level, he was on his level, baby. And so it was like, okay, so at that point we started getting a little hungry. So we're like, okay, what we gonna eat? What we gonna eat? And Susie was like, let's try some, like, let's go somewhere that got some seafood, some gumbo, something, because like we in New Orleans, we trying to eat something this New Orleans is known for. And so B is like, oh, well, let's go to Popeyes. Let's go to Popeyes. And so like, okay, we in New Orleans, so why are you trying to go to Popeyes? But then I remember, okay, Popeyes has originated in New Orleans. Now, mind you, I have been to New Orleans before. This is not my first time going to New Orleans. This was my second time going to New Orleans with a group of friends. But before, this used to be like a tradition. Me and my family used to always go to New Orleans as one of our vacations or whatever during the summer. So I have tried Popeyes before, and Popeyes did originate in Louisiana. So it was like, okay, you know, let's do it. Let's eat it. Now, Susie was a little mad about that, but we still got some Popeyes, and it was good as always, because baby, it's always gonna be good. Like, it's always gonna be good. It was good. And so I remember we walking out. Chucky had finished his drink. Okay, and so by this point we're like, okay, we see the parades, we see people walking around, we see them throwing beads, they're throwing candy and stuff. I bend me down, pick me up some beads, baby, put it around my neck, because I'm definitely not finna show these tatas for no beads, baby. Sorry, not about to do it. Never will, never have, never will. So like I said, Chucky is messed up. He's slurring his words. He laughing super loud. He talking to everybody, being extra friendly, super friendly. And we on the block. So then we started walking around. We all holding hands, super tight together, walking through the crowd. We shoulder to shoulder. It's packed, literally packed. I don't know if y'all ever been to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, but it be packed. So we holding each other shoulder to shoulder, and then we stopped. With the floats, they started throwing more beads, we picking it up, all of that stuff. And then all of a sudden we're like, okay, y'all, let's go back into the crowd. We turn around and Chucky is gone. Chucky is nowhere to be found. So we're like, what? Where is he? Where is he? So we looking around, we looking everywhere, we retracing our steps, we walking all the way down Bourbon Street, up and down Bourbon Street. We're like, okay, let's call him, let's get him a call. And then B says, oh, his phone is in my purse. So we're like, what are you talking, like, how is his phone in your purse? And she's like, well, he just wanted me to hold it because he was drunk, da, 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 da. And so it's like, oh my gosh, he didn't want to lose it. I'm just like, dang. It would be out of all times, this man is literally lost and you got his phone up in your bag. Like, dang. So it was like, okay, whatever. So we retracing our steps, looking for him, calling his name, going to every store on Bourbon Street, every block, going literally every restaurant, everything, every little street we're going on, up and down, going back to the places we went, back in Popeyes, looking up and down, like, where is he? We spent like 3 hours looking for this man, and he was nowhere to be found. We could not find him. And then all of a sudden, Phil and Deal call us and they're like, hey, y'all, we here. And so they was like, show us where you park, Susie. And so Susie, we all walk back to the car. And we like, y'all, we lost Chucky. Like, we don't know where he at. He was drunk. He was just walking around. He just left us. Like, we don't know where he is. Like, we lost him. And there's a million people out there, y'all. So we just like worry, like, where is this man? He is missing. And so they was like, okay, well, we're gonna split up. They parked where Susie parked in front of her car, and they was like, okay, we're gonna split up. Oh, we're gonna go this way, y'all go this way, and we're gonna go and look for him, and we'll, see if we find him. And so, y'all, I kid you not even 30 minutes later, they FaceTime us, and then they go checking the phone, smiling, kiki, and laughing, ha. Baby, he ain't got a care in the world. He been having fun this whole time. Looked like he done even got drunk, or he done went somewhere and got another drink. I'm like, dang, this man didn't have a worry, didn't have a care in the world. I'm like, okay, that fishbowl got something in it, because, like, dang, you weren't even worried that you was missing. You weren't even worried. You probably didn't even notice. Who knows? He probably didn't even notice. So it was like, luckily, I'm happy that he found him. Now we can actually breathe, relax, and be like, okay, it's time to actually party, actually turn up, actually get it up in there and stop playing. Like, we was just too worried about him at first. So we go back to Bourbon Street, and we're just walking up and down until we get tired. And we're like, okay, where are we going to stay tonight? Because mind you, like I said, this was a last minute thing. This was a spur of the moment thing, spontaneous, baby. And we did not plan on getting a hotel. Like, we didn't even plan it out. We didn't even think about it. We weren't thinking about no hotel. So everything was packed, obviously, because it's Mardi Gras. So we're like, where we gonna stay? And we ended up having to get a motel. But baby, we did not care. Baby, as long as it was up in there, we did not care. Like, we was still happy. Like, at least we got to get a hotel, and we slept up in there, and everything was good. Next day come around, and I remember what I had on this day. I had on a long sleeve yellow shirt with little cutouts. I had on some jeans, and because it was still a little bit cold outside, and so I had on like these combat boots. Oh y'all, combat boots was the thing back then too. Then I had my hair in 2 ponytails, and we was just walking up and down Bourbon. Yeah, we was doing that the whole day, technically the whole entire day. And then it got to be nighttime, because we stayed for like 3 days. So then it got to be nighttime, and I just noticed, okay, I had the new iPhone 7. It was in rose gold. And I remember I had it in my back pocket. I don't know why I put it in my back pocket. I don't know why. At that time, I went thinking like, oh, I need a little. Now when I go to New Orleans, I have a little fanny pack on where all of my stuff is right here zipped up. Or I have a crossbody on, and I had a crossbody in front of me right here zipped up, everything good. And I had, this time I wasn't thinking about none of that. So I had put my phone in my back pocket. I didn't even have nothing in my hand. I had put my phone in my back pocket. And so I remember dancing on this dude. This guy was behind me. I remember dancing on him. And then I also remember this girl, it was her birthday, and she was drunk, and she bumped into me, and she was like, oh, you can have my drink. You can have my drink. And she was just happy, smiling, da 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 da. And so I was like, oh, thank you. But baby, I wasn't finna drink her drink, so I threw that away. But it was just like, dang, you know, I didn't know what was going on. Then all of a sudden, I'm feeling for my phone. I'm feeling to record a snap. My pocket is empty. My phone is gone. Somebody literally stole my phone, y'all. Somebody stole my phone. It was a brand new iPhone 7. It was brand new. I had just got it probably like 2 weeks earlier. I was so mad. I was panicking. I'm like, dang, do find my. They turned the phone off. They was calling me. Nobody was answering. Like, somebody stole my phone. And to this day, I think it was either one of them 2 people. That's how, well, I remember, because it was a whole bunch of people. But I remember the dude was dancing up, like, you know, doing this, and I'm twerking on him, whatever. He could have easily slid it out. Or the girl, she bumped into me. She could have easily slid it out and then felt guilty and gave me her drink. But I'm like, dang, like, I don't know, but it was one of them. And my phone was gone, baby. I could not find it. Nothing. I couldn't find nothing. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. I was devastated, but I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just get a new phone. Like, I got insurance on the phone. I think all I had to pay is like a deductible, like $150, and I get a new phone. So I was not even worried about it. I'm like, okay, whatever. Or I don't even think I had to do that, because I had insurance on it. I would just be like, if somebody stole it, and I got a new phone. So yeah, I was devastated, and then we went back to the room. Here's what I found. Oh shit, Siri, baby, I ain't talking about you. I was devastated. We went back to the room, and then we just called it a night that night. Oh, we did end up going back to Popeyes, and Susie was mad again. She was like, why are we going somewhere that we can go in our hometown? Like, we could go here anywhere. Why do we keep going here? I want to try something new. But B didn't have enough money. She didn't have that much money. Or I don't know, like I said, she was very frugal with her money. So I don't know if she was trying to be frugal and not spend too much, or if she really did not have no money to buy her some food at like another restaurant. But honestly, it's places that you can go in New Orleans that have really good food, and you still don't have to pay that much for it. Like, it's places you can go, you can get some seafood, you can get crawfish, you can get pasta, all types of stuff, and you would not have to pay gumbo. You would not have to pay that much for it. But I guess I don't know, baby. I don't know. So then next day come around, Angelica and Lil, they called. So a little bit of backstory on them. Angelica and Lil were friends of B, and I actually met, like, that was a separate friend group, and then Susie was another friend, because I met Susie on my own. So I had invited Susie, you know, I kind of introduced Susie to all of them. And so Angelica, B, me, Lil, and Susan, we used to always go out, like I told. And it was another girl too, but she was irrelevant because she didn't come. But I remember like being 6 deep in her coupe, baby, having a ball, going everywhere, going to the mall, well, going to parties and stuff like that. So, and I remember one time Lil actually peed in the back of Susie's car, and she was mad. She was so mad. She had to get a detail, everything. She peed in the back of her car. I'm like, girl, she was so drunk that she couldn't even think to, okay, yeah, let me pee outside or something. You gonna pee in her car? Girl, she was so mad about that. And maybe this is part of the reason why this even happened. But at the same, but I'ma just tell you. I digress. I'ma just tell y'all the story. So we find out that Angelica and Lil is there, and they rode down there with somebody else. So then they ride down there with us. So we're just like, okay, let's link up. They called us saying that they here, but can we put our luggages in your car, Susie? And Susie was like, yeah, sure, cool, that's fine with me. Y'all put them up in there so we can walk down Bourbon Street, whatever case may be. And so they put the luggages in Susie's car, and then they went their separate way. B had ended up walking with them, and they all just walking. They went to Bourbon Street, and then me and Susie, we ended up going to meet up with Tommy, which y'all know from other stories, Tommy and some of his friends. So we went to go meet up with them. We all was like drinking, taking shots, and then we also was sparking up, all of that stuff, and just having time, having a ball. And then her car had started running hot. Like we was driving around, her car started running hot, so we stopped at Rally's parking lot so she could see like where the nearest AutoZone was or any type of car shop so she can get some coolant for her car. And so we stopped there and we noticed that AutoZone was closed. So we're like, dang, AutoZone closed, like what are we gonna do? I'm gonna have to wait until tomorrow to do something. That's when they open back up at 8 o'clock in the morning. We're gonna have to stay one more night, and I'm gonna just have to wait. And so it's like, okay, bet. But we had to leave the next day because we all had classes like that evening or whatever. We were about to link back up with Tommy and his friend again, and we were supposed to be going somewhere. I think we was gonna go to like this little lounge or whatever, a hookah lounge, and then we were supposed to be going back to that Airbnb. We was about to go and get a bottle and then link back up with them. But then all of a sudden, Angelica and Lil called her, and so she answered the phone, and they was like, hey, can we pick up our luggages? And she was like, oh yeah, cool, I'll meet y'all back, so come pick up the luggages. So mind you, get rewind a little bit. Earlier that day, Susie is like, I think they be trying to use me for my car, and I'm like, why do you think that? And she was like, well, they always be asking me for rides. They be asking me to take them to school. They be asking me to go to Walmart, go to the mall, da da da. And I'm like, I don't know about that. And also a little bit more of a backstory. They stay in these the school, they brought these hotels that was like 3 minutes away from the school. It was like a 3-minute drive. So they brought these hotels that was super close to the school, and they started renting them out as like dorm rooms, or started using them as dorm rooms. And so Angelica and Lil did not have a car, and of course Susie had a car. So they would ask her, like, once they found that they knew somebody who had a car, they asked her like, hey, can you take me to school? Can you take me there? Da 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 da. And I guess she started off doing it, but then she stopped doing it. I don't know what the deal was, but she basically was like, I feel like they use me because they always asking about, can I give them rides and stuff. And I was like, well, they don't have a car, like, I don't think that that's the case, whatever. But she was just like, I don't know, I just think they use me. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And so now, that was just a little backstory. Now going back to what we was talking about. So we headed to meet them to get them their luggages, and Susie was like, and I hope that they don't think they're gonna be riding back with me because we ain't got no room. Like, it's only 4 seats up in here, and my car already full. Da 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 da. Like, they need to go back. However they came, they need to go back. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. Mind you, I'm lit at the time, so I'm just like, oh, okay, da 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 da. Like, I'm not even thinking nothing of it for real. Like, they getting their luggages obviously, so they're not gonna even need a ride back. It is what it is. Like, it's cool. We good. And so then we pull up on them, and they're standing off to like the side of the road or whatever. So then they just bum rush and get in the car. Like, they get in the car instead of like getting the luggages. Susie's like trying to get out to go get the luggages, and like, what are y'all? She like, what are y'all doing? Like, what are y'all doing? I'm getting the luggages out the car. Y'all about to get the luggages and go, right? And they're like, no, you taking us back. You taking us back. You taking us back. That's what Angelica is saying. Like, you taking us back. You taking us back. And she's like, no, I'm not taking y'all back. What do you mean? And so B is like, let's just get in the car and let's just discuss this, da da da. And so we get in the car, and Susie is like, y'all are not riding back with me. Like, y'all need to go wherever y'all came. Y'all not riding back with me. You said you was gonna get the luggages out the car. Like, I'm not understanding what's going on. And then she was like, no, you're taking us back. You're taking us back. Angelica, you're taking us back. You're taking us back. And then she was like, no, I'm not. And honestly, I want to have a talk with y'all. I feel like y'all be using me. And she was like, how do you feel like I be using you? Me out of everybody? Me out of everybody? That's how Angelica. So she's coming out very hostile. I'm not going to lie. It's like, you think I'm using you out of everybody? Me? Well, you think we use you? So I'm guessing she was kind of like alluding to me because, like I said, me and Susie used to go everywhere together. But I never asked Susie to take me nowhere. It probably was like 2 times that I asked her to take me somewhere. But other than that, she always would ask me, like, you want to go here? You want to go there? You want to go to this party? Girls, this party tonight. Oh, you want to go to the mall? I want to go shopping because I want this. You want to go get some food? You want to go, let's go get our nails done. Like, she used to ask me, let's go to Walmart. Let's go on a Walmart run. She used to ask me to go places. I never asked her to go nowhere. So it's just like, I don't know if that's what she was like alluding to. I don't know. But yeah, that's what she said. And so Susie was like, I don't care. I'm not taking y'all nowhere. Like I said, I feel like y'all be using me. She was like, you gonna take me home. She was like, I don't care. I'll sit in the car all night. I'm not taking you nowhere. So that's basically where it left off. Mind you, like I said, we were supposed to meet up with Tommy. We were supposed to have a ball. We were supposed to go back on Bourbon Street. We were supposed to go to that lounge. We were supposed to do a lot of stuff. But we ended up just sitting there in the car. And like, we literally just sit there in the car. And they was just squeezed in the back, three. Like I said, it's a 2-seat in the back. They squeezed in the back, three of them. B, Angelica and Lil, and me and Susie is in the front seat. And just like, I mean, I don't know what, like, they were getting out the car, so we couldn't go nowhere. And mind you, like I said, her car was running hot, everything, so they didn't know this. They just came hostile, like, oh, you taking us back, da 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 da. Not, like, we didn't know what was going on. So basically, that was it. And my thing is, if felt like, if Susie felt like, hey, I don't want y'all riding in my car, why are you being so hostile? But we're gonna get to that later in the story, why all of this even happened, what was going on. Now, fast forward. It's morning. I fell asleep. I don't even remember falling asleep. I wake up like, eyes crispy. I'm looking out. It's daytime. Like, dang, it's daytime outside. And then Susie started driving to the gas station. So she drove to the gas station. And I just remember seeing a crackhead outside smoking a cigarette and drinking a beer. And I'm like, what's going on? So she was trying to wait until AutoZone closed, but she stopped to go and get some gas, whatever. And we still all up in the car. And so all of a sudden, Angelica is like, open the door. I'm about to get out. Open your trunk up. I'm about to get my luggage. Open your trunk up. And then we see a big truck pull by. And so, or like pull up at another one of the gas pumps or whatever. And so Angelica and Lil get out. They get their luggages. And as they were getting their luggage, and I remember it was like a shoe or something that was stuck up in the thing, they were getting their luggages out and stuff, and we was all like getting out and everything, like, you know, helping them out because it was just a 2-door coupe, so we had to get out in order to let the seat back and let them out the car. And then all of a sudden, Angelica just stole off, like, okay, I'm sorry, this is not funny, but I promise you, it was crazy. So Susie was getting back in the car. So she was literally getting back in the driver's side. She was getting back in the car. And then all of a sudden, Angelica just pulled her from the back, pulled her hair, and just started back, beating her up, y'all. And they fell. And then a crackhead tried to break it up, like, y'all stop fighting. And then a crackhead ended up falling on Susie. And then spilled some ash on her, spilled his beer on her, everything. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And y'all, it was not fun. I was trying not to laugh. I don't know why. Like, in crazy situations like that, I be laughing. And I was trying not to laugh. But then, like, I was like, oh, you forgot your shoe. And then I took it out the thing. She was like, thank you. And then Angelica and Lil went to go get in the car. I guess the people that had came down there with, it was some dudes up in the car. And they rolled back down there with them. And so B had got back in the car. And me, Susie, and B was just sitting there. And then Susie just started crying. Just like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that just happened. Oh my gosh. And I'm just like, I was trying not to laugh. But y'all, it was not funny. I don't know why I was laughing. Just awkward situation. So I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like, I cannot believe that just happened. Oh my God, are you okay? Like, are you okay? I'm wiping the ash off of her. Like, now she smelled like beer. Her sweater smelling like beer. Like, I'm just like, girl, are you okay? And she was like, yeah, I'm okay, but I cannot believe that. Da, 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 da. And so, yeah, we ended up going to AutoZone. She got whatever that she needed to get for her car. I think some coolant or whatever she needed to get fixed. She got it fixed. And then we headed back to college. And so now, come to find out the whole backstory and the whole reason why Angelica was so upset and it was so mad. Oh, and I also forgot to add, Angelica was calling her out her name and everything. And so Lil was like, okay, I'm sorry for whatever I did. I'm sorry that you feel like that. Like, we're not trying to use you. I'm sorry you feel like that. And she was like, okay, see, you coming respectful. Like, you can ride back with me. But like, Angelica, look at what you're doing. You literally you cussing me out. You telling me I'm going to ride back. This is my car. I paid insurance for this. I paid the car note for this. You're not going to tell me that you was going to ride back with me if I'm telling you no, that you're not. And then look how rude you being. So she was just basically saying, like, your tone, like how you coming off, you could have, said it a little bit nicer. But basically, come to find out, B ended up telling us, when they dropped them off to do the luggage, they came down there with some guys. They were in this Airbnb or a hotel room with the guys. They was all sparking up. They was drinking all of that stuff. And then she had went in the back with one of the guys. And so she said that he took advantage of her. He ended up her. So that was the whole reason why she did not want to be around him and stuff like that. But she didn't tell us. Like, why won't you tell us and be like, y'all, this is just what happened to me. Now, I can also understand it from her point of view too, because maybe you didn't want to tell us because, you know, you were embarrassed by it, or you didn't want everybody to know your business and what happened. But I feel like in that situation, let your friends know. Or not even, I wouldn't even say friend. Like, I was her friend. I don't know if she considered Susie as a friend, but like, let us know if you're in a dire situation. Why won't you let her know that? You know, but instead she was just coming off hostile. She was coming off like, you're gonna take me back, you gonna take me back, all of that stuff. And Susie was not responding well to that, which I don't think anybody would be responding well to that. But she had built up anger. She was angry. She wanted to just get out of the situation, and you can't. I don't know. That's basically what happened. She was ready to get out of the situation. She was ready to get out, and she knew that her only other option would be to get back in the car with her. But she didn't tell us, and B ended up telling all this stuff to us. She was like, now, why didn't she tell us that? Why did she tell us that? Like, that could have all went differently if she just would have said, hey, this is what's going on. I don't want to ride back with him. I rode down here with him. Can I please ride back with you? Instead of, you know, going all out. But yeah, that was just crazy. We lost my friend. Somebody stole my phone. And then I ended up losing a job over there. I'm going to have to tell y'all about that story. And like, I ended up losing a job over that. Because somebody want to steal my phone. And I was actually mad at the job. It was Hollister. I was actually mad. Hollister. I forgot the manager name. But girl, you know, you shouldn't fire me. I told you that my phone was there. How was I supposed to know the schedule? How was I supposed to know that I was working if my phone got stolen? But anyways, I digress. And what's the other person's name? What was I saying? Yeah. Oh, and then Susie got beat up. So baby, it was just a crazy time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And so I love you guys. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in my next video. Next video. Peace out.